Good afternoon. Welcome to Swain High School and Boyce Dietz Field, Swain County Memorial Stadium. You have the Lady Devil, Swain High School Lady Devil soccer team taking on the Murphy Bulldogs tonight. We got a throw in coming up here for Murphy. Get the lineups here in a minute so you know who all the starters are. Got a foul there. Be a free kick for Swain.
Looks like it'll be a free kick for the Devils after a foul from the Devils.
Bree Ross took that free kick. Swain's playing. Murphy's moving the ball. It's early indication that we're going to have some passing going on here. You see both teams have the ability here to hang on to the ball and keep possession and play it around and try to improve their opportunity for an attack or to move the ball forward on the field. And it's whatever coach likes to see. Throw in for Swain. Up the right side. Swain plays it back. And looks like we'll have another throw in for Swain. Starting lineup tonight. For Swain, number 1, Kendall Cochran. She's a senior. The goalkeeper for Swain is Maddie Lay. She's a sophomore. Jessie Richards. She's wearing number 10. She's a senior. Wearing number 16 in the back, Kate Poss. She's a sophomore, transfer in this year. Really helped out the team quite a bit, anchoring that defense. Kendall Cochran crosses the ball. Getting picked up on the right-hand side. Is coming back across. Nice opportunity right there. Where was I at? Kate Poss. Okay, Kaylee Simmons, number 17, is a freshman starting. Isabel Green, number 20, is a sophomore. Bree Ross, number 23, is a sophomore. Here we go with another cross coming across. And it'll be Swain's throw. Well, we've early on here, obviously, we're playing in on Murphy's half of the field, which is what we want. Controlling the ball, and when we have lost it, we've won it back very quickly. There's a nice touch by Kendall right at the top of the 18-yard box. Comes back out. It's settled down by Rebecca Duncan. She tries to play it in, but loses the ball there. Duncan again. Isabel Green wins the ball back for Swain and gets it to Kendall Cochran. Murphy's now got control, winning it up, trying to play the ball through to a forward. It looks at least the appearance is that Murphy's going to have 3 up top, although sometimes that just happens that way. Now it looks like they've got 2 up top. Throw in for Murphy. Peyton Hines with some good work there. Plays it back in. Avery Maples fighting for the ball there. And it looks like it's going to be a throw in for Swain. Taken quickly. Maybe a little surprise there for both teams. Kaylee Simmons plays it back to Duncan. Back to Poss. Poss squares it over. Isabel Green plays the ball up. Trying to find Maples up there. Bree Ross. Nice touch to gain control of the ball. Tried to switch fields with it and Duncan wins the ball back. And just Kaylee Simmons just a little late getting there for that one. Be a throw in for Murphy. Jaden Perez putting pressure on the Murphy Bulldog there. And that'll be a throw in for Swain, taken by Kaylee Simmons. Whoa, why not? Shot by Kendall Cochran. That was well taken and quickly taken. You never know. Sometimes you catch somebody off guard, especially today. It looks like a nice, bright, sunny day out there, but it is windy today. We're getting blown around here in the press box, and you never know what that ball will do. You can make things happen. Be a throw in for Swain. Kate Poss runs the ball down, gets it back to Duncan, who will take the throw in. Duncan drops it back to Poss. Settles it. She's probably going to try to switch field with a big one all the way across. Well done. Opens up space on the other side of the field. Kaylee Simmons. Isabel Green fighting for the ball there. Winds up on her backside. But she wins the ball. She's been fighting hard right there in the middle of the field and helping Swain to keep control of that ball. Played out wide. Nice ball. Murphy comes up with it again. Oh, it's one. It'll be a throw in for Swain. And the keeper for Murphy winds up with that ball. The starting lineup for Murphy: number 3, Kaylee Graves; number 4, Calicity Kelly; number 10, Grace Henry; number 1, Cheyenne Leak; number 14, Avery Taylor. Here's the ball. It gets back deep into Swain's area, but Kate Poss quickly turns it around and sends it back up. Number 15, Ellie Martin; number 16, Sarah Jump; number 17, Chloe Decker; number 23, Caitlin Wheaton; number 26, Brooklyn Taylor; and number 27, Jillian Clayton. Cochran's going to wind up with this ball. She's going to try to play it through or to the middle. Had a touch by Avery Maples. Had a good chance there to push the ball forward and gain us some real estate. Looks like it's going to be a goal kick there for Murphy. All right, I think we got our equipment all straightened out and ready here, and there's the goal kick. Jessie Richards wins that ball over there, and we wanted it back down the line again, but we didn't quite get it to her. I think may have had a handball there. So Murphy will have a free kick coming back. Rebecca Duncans and Kate Poss turn that one back around, but we'll have a throw in for Murphy. Murphy, fortunately for Swain, hasn't spent a whole lot of time in a dangerous area, but I'm sure if you've been around, you know that it doesn't take very long. If a goal gets scored, Swain's been kind of pressuring and playing the ball deep into Murphy territory. Had a couple of shots, but really hadn't got anything off or real close yet. Hadn't been anything really on goal that was scary. Swain's record this year is 13-2. Overall, their conference record's 8-0. The last meeting between these two teams earlier in the season ended up as a tie, and during regulation, I think 2-2, and then Swain defeated Murphy in overtime. Going to be a throw for Murphy. Swain's coach is Scott Klein, assistant coach Janet Schuler. Fighting the wind and the sun here from the press box. Had a throw in right there at the corner flag. This is those dangerous spots. You just want to get that ball out of there if you're a Swain defender. And they do. Well done. Trying to push through. Murphy has a well-organized defense in the back, and they've been picking up our runners, and Cochran gets a touch on the ball and winds up playing it outside. We'll have a throw in for Murphy. It's like Bailey Mock enters the game for Murphy. Referee corrects the throw-in spot for Murphy. Rebecca Duncan puts it back up on the other side of the field for Swain, but unable to keep it in bounds, and throw in for Murphy. Jaden Perez and Isabel Green fighting for the ball. Isabel comes up with it, and Isabel Green's been all over the place. Kendall Cochran has got the ball into the attack. She has taken a shot. It's off the crossbar. Looks like we're going to have a corner kick for Swain. That was a nice little ball there to Cochran. Cochran made a touch on it, which freed her up. And typically, if she gets a couple of steps, she's got a good chance at putting a quality shot on goal. Cochran has taken the corner. It's on the right side. Brings it across, and Murphy's keeper does what keepers are supposed to do and gets her hands on it and holds on. She'll be punting it out of her 18-yard. Nope, she's going to throw it out of her 18. Wind kind of got a hold of that one. Carried it out of bounds, so we'll have a throw in for Swain. And it doesn't quite go. Now this is the benefit when you're keeping the ball in your attacking half right there. Murphy had an opportunity to put something together, wound up with the ball at the center circle, but didn't have any attack coming, getting out of the back. She really had nothing to do with it. She could had to kind of hold on to it, and when you have to hold on to it, you're also going to get defenders coming back and helping out as well. Whoop. Swain throw. Avery Maple's going to throw in for Swain. Just gets it all the way into Cochran. Fortunately, it was Kendall Cochran and then about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Murphy players right around her, but she got a touch on it, but it went out of bounds. Peyton Hines came up and got a touch on that. Peyton Hines is going to take the throw now. She finds, I believe it's Green, yep. Can't quite hold on to it. Isabel Green is all over that midfield. Uh-oh. Breakaway for Murphy. Murphy gets the shot off, and Murphy gets the goal. Murphy gets on the goal first. 23 minutes and 19 seconds left in the first half. And Swain spent, the ball's been in Swain's end, by my recollection, probably 90% of the time. And the one opportunity there, and Murphy gets the goal. Cochran passes it back to Poss. Gets a touch on it. She's going to try to find something wide. Coming out to Kaylee Simmons, who backs it up to Duncan. Rebecca Duncan. Kaylee takes the throw. Trying to find Cochran or Avery Maples. Kaylee Simmons with a throw again. Jaden Perez defending here. Peyton Hines with a touch on the ball, trying to find Richards out wide. Just couldn't quite get there. Oh, must have got a touch off of a Murphy player. Richards fighting, trying to win the ball. Hines is going to play it back for Poss. Poss will play it on up, try to gain some space. And that's going to go out for a throw-in for Swain. Kaylee Simmons to throw it in. Backs it up to Rebecca Duncan. Duncan goes back again to Poss. Back to Duncan. Sometimes you wonder when you see that going on, just a couple of defenders passing it back and forth, and what it can do is it can draw the other team toward you. They're coming in trying to shut that down, and that can open up some other things. Unfortunately, there we didn't get it through or didn't get it to them, but can make good things happen. Anytime you move the ball around, things change. Soccer is such a constant, dynamic game. You can't really map out plays very well. It's just everybody's got to be thinking and looking ahead and trying to get on the same page with their teammates. Throw in for Murphy. Headed back out by, I think that was Peyton Hines that headed that out. Yep, it was. One of those situations where we'd like to see him get it out of here. It's going to go out for a goal kick. Ellie Martin and Sarah Jump back in the game for Murphy. Kate Poss is going to take the goal kick for Swain. She plays it out. Finds Rebecca Duncan. And Duncan plays it off of a Murphy player. Kaylee Simmons plays one on up the field. Just a little too much. Avery Maple's not quite able to come across and get on that one. Kaylee Simmons again. Finds Cochran. Back to Simmons. And not quite able to pull it down. Be a throw in for Murphy. Simmons, Cochran, Simmons, Cochran. Whoa. And Cochran cracks the shot, just left, just wide. Be a goal kick for Murphy, Bulldogs. About 18 minutes and 41 seconds left in the first half now. Poss stops the attack that Murphy had going there. They still maintain control of the ball. Trying to play it through, but Kate's there again and plays it wide to Duncan. Duncan plays it on up. Cochran. And no foul. Looks like it's going to be a throw in for Swain, though. Jaden Perez gets a touch, backs it up to Duncan. And that was played through by Murphy, but Kate turns it around and sends it back upfield. Duncan plays it. Kaylee Simmons. Simmons has a little room up the side, looking for options. Stays with it. And Murphy comes up with the ball there. Back to Kate Poss again. She turns, looks across the field, switches, finds Richards. Gets a touch on the ball. Isabel Green pops up there again in the middle, and Kendall Cochran with the ball in front of the goal. A little physicality there. Oh, a little too much physicality there. Going to have a foul on the Maroon Devils. Jaden Perez puts her noggin on the ball and plays it out wide to a little too much out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Murphy. Referees want it backed up just a little bit. Richards comes up and puts pressure. Nice through ball by Cochran. Avery Maple's trying to get on it. Keeper's going to come out and just clear it out wide. Now would be a good time for a quick throw in if you could get some numbers up there before the keeper recovers. Richards going to get a touch on that ball. Couldn't quite get it. You throw in again for Murphy. Peyton Hines come up and stepped in front and played the ball harmlessly out of bounds. Hines keeps getting her touches on the ball there. Probably pretty frustrating for the player she's going against. Kosi Wilmot enters the game for Swain, playing right defender. Kylie finds Isabel Green. Isabel not quite able to settle the ball there. Poss plays it back to Isabel. Tries to get it back to Green again. Bree Ross plays the ball up. There's Isabel fighting for the ball. Kate Poss steps up, but we got a handball out of the deal. 13 minutes, coming down on 13 minutes left in the first half. It's been a pretty evenly matched game. Definitely, I think, more offense by Swain as far as being in the danger zone. We have an offsides there on about 20 yards, 20 yards from the goal line. Kate Poss is going to take the kick. Up in the general direction of Cochran. Cochran Kendall Cochran called for that foul. Be a free kick for Murphy. Duncan puts it up. Cochran going to get a touch. And a little too much touch. B. Murphy's throw coming back. Nice ball play by Murphy right in there. Sweet touches. Duncan's going to let this one roll out of bounds, and it'll be a throw in for Swain. She throws to Kate Poss. Back to Duncan. Duncan plays it on up the line, finds Kaylee Simmons. Oh! Caught one right in the kisser there, the Murphy player did. Throw in for Swain. Murphy with the lead here, 1-0. 10.5 minutes left in the game. Or, I'm sorry, 10.5 minutes left in the half. Started out the game, it seemed like Swain really was getting most of the offense and controlling the ball most of the time, and it's evened up quite here the last 10 to 15 minutes, and we've seen Murphy Murphy's been getting their share of touches and control on the ball. Will be a goal kick for Swain here. Jaden Perez touches that. Bree Ross. Jaden Perez. And Haley Simmons touched that one last. It'll be a throw in for Murphy. Jaden. Kate Paw steps up, touches and clears. Duncan sends it back up, finds a friendly. Isabel Green. Avery Maples fighting for the ball, trying to come out with it here. Richards. Jesse Richards plays the ball up, tries to get it through for like Isabel Green making a run there. Kendall Cochran on the ball. Kaylee Simmons occupying. Maples across. Maples fighting. Kate Paw stops it. Plays wide to Duncan. Duncan gets a touch. And works the ball off of the Murphy Bulldog. Nice touch, finds Maples. Swain was on Outlaw last week. They were on spring break. I'm not sure where the Bulldogs, when their spring break was, but certainly can make a difference whenever when you have that 7 to 9 day break.
Looks like the Devils are going to make another pair of substitutions at the Bulldogs. Coach Wilmot goes out for Peyton Hahn, but she comes back in. And Judy Singani goes out and comes in.
Drudy Singani in for the Devils, and I believe Peyton Hines back on the field. Isabel Green touched the ball last there. Kaylee Simmons. Drudy. Kendall Cochran had a shot at an open net there and just a little wide left. Judging by the way she tightened her ponytail there, I think she wishes she had that shot back a little bit. Perez plays the ball back into the middle. Duncan with a touch. Be a throw in for the Bulldogs. Kaylee Simmons plays the ball across. Cochran's going to put the pressure on it. Drudy Singati crosses the ball. Becca Duncan to Kaylee Simmons. And it'll be a throw in for Swain. Kaylee Simmons with the throw. Nice combination there. Cochran going to pass the ball right across the middle, and Maples coming up on the ball, but not before Bulldog keeper picks the ball up off the ground. Throws it out. These counterattacks is what you really have to be careful of, because that's kind of what got us. We gave up the goal on. Isabel Green to Zingani, back to Green. Bree Ross going to let it go out of bounds and then throw it in. Jessie Richards enters the game again for Devils. Looks like she's going to go up top, and Maples is going to maybe go over to that right midfielder position. Jaden Perez took one for the team there. Bree Ross is going to take the kick for Swain. Just plays it wide over to Kate Poss. Poss just takes a step, gains some real estate, continues with it, plays it on up. Now has to scamper back to her central midfield or central defensive position. Becca Duncan back to Kaylee Simmons. This should be pretty easy for Peyton Hines to settle. She's looking for Maples out wide, maybe. Didn't quite get it through. Still fights and keeps control of the ball. Now still trying to get it to Maples, but not quite able to. Coming down on 2 minutes left in the first half. Again, it's 1-0 Murphy. Murphy scored on a counterattack about 20 minutes into the game. Swain's had its share of opportunities, but I haven't been able to make the back of the net rattle yet. That's what we're needing to do, is to find the back of that net. You throw in for Murphy. Maples gets a touch, but just touches it right back outside. Another throw in. Another header out by Maples. Peyton Hines gives her a little love tap from behind there as she was receiving that ball. It's going to be a foul. Free kick for Swain. Jaden Perez getting kicked around just a little bit down there. That's the second time she's had to pick herself up off the ground the last couple of minutes. Bree Ross takes that free kick, finds Richards. It kind of slid under her foot. Jaden Perez. Another. Isabel Green fighting for the ball with the Murphy Bulldog. Maples. About 30 seconds. Cochran's got one down the sideline. Oh! We're going to have an opportunity for a... They need to get it going here. We got time, about 20 seconds left. In soccer, that ball's actually got to cross the goal line and be in the net before the horn rings or buzzer buzzes or whatever. And with 5 seconds, off the bar. That would have been awesome. And that's the end of the first half. Again, after 1 half of play, 40 minutes of play. We got the score: Murphy Bulldogs 1, Swain 0. We'll be back in a little bit. Welcome back for the second half. Got another 40 minutes of soccer here. Got 40 minutes for Swain to put this game in their favor. Right now it's 1-0 Murphy, but Swain certainly had their opportunities in the first half. So let's see if we can't get us some opportunities in the second half and capitalize on those. Kylie Simmons on the right side. She's going to play the ball into the front. Maples and Cochran crashing on the ball. Isabel Green plays it. And we get a cross from Simmons coming in. Ooh, that could have been a handball. He's going to call a dangerous play. No, I don't know. I'm not sure what he's calling. It's an indirect kick, whatever it is, so it's probably a dangerous play situation. You see the referee. Well, I don't know if you can see in the view on your screen, but the referee has his hand up in the air. When he holds his hand up in the air like that, that's an indirect kick. He'll lower that hand as soon as it touches someone. The significance there is that if that were in a position on the field where a ball could be taken, a shot could be taken, the ball cannot go directly in the goal anytime you have an indirect kick. Something like a dangerous play would give you an indirect kick. It means it just has to touch someone else before it goes in. You can pass to a player and they can kick it in. You could even, if you took a shot and it deflected off of another player, off of either team, and it went in, it would be still be a goal. But if it went directly in the goal, it would be disallowed, and the team, defending team would be awarded a goal kick coming out. Kate Poss settles the ball, looks to switch it, finding Richards over on the near side or the right side of the field. Richards unable to quite bring it down. Murphy with the throw in. Hines gets a touch on it. Isabel Green fighting in the middle of the field for the ball again. Bree Ross steps up to try to block that. Rebecca Duncan comes out of her spot and clears the ball up. Murphy once again looking for a counterattack. Swain is getting some numbers back. Kate Poss chases that one down and plays it out of bounds. Be a throw-in for Murphy, though, right about 18 yards from the goal line. We'll have a goal kick coming out now for Swain. Richards taps it out of bounds. Be a throw in for Bulldogs. Some kind of foul. Poss drives the ball. Throw in. Richards takes the throw in. No, I'm sorry. That's Hines. Avery Maples with a throw in now for Swain. Swain's got some numbers in the box. Jaden Perez. Ooh. Oh, that was all ball. Not well done for Rebecca Duncan. Hines going to get to settle one here. She plays it up to Richards. Richards has a touch on in. Hines again. Puts the ball right in the soup in the middle. Kendall Cochran tried to unleash one there, and I think she got an extra little toe touch on it that she really didn't want. And Hines with the throw, but it went just a little far. Be a goal kick for Murphy. One by Hines. And that'll be off of Murphy for a Swain throw. Maples with a throw. She's looking for Cochran right in the middle. Kind of bad bounce over the head there. Rebecca Duncan stepping up to settle, taking a look down the sidelines, looking for Kaylee Simmons. A little too much there. There was Isabel Green there that had a nice touch from the Swain throw. Hines finds Richards to Maple. Ball had a little English on it and hit the ground and took a 90-degree turn to the out of bounds. Maples put it back in the 18. It's going to be another throw in for Swain here. Looks like Maples is going to take it. Jaden Perez comes across, just taps it out to Rebecca Duncan over there. Bree Ross comes up, settles the ball down, finds Perez. Perez goes to play it out. Got a little tap there whenever she was trying to make the pass. It's going to be a Swain throw. Murphy's really got the box, the 18-yard box, packed pretty tight. There's a lot of white jerseys in there. And they're doing a good job in defending that area. And then that's what we have to watch out for here is these counterattacks. They have a few up front that can stretch it out and get behind you if you're not careful. Bree Ross is going to get a touch on that, turn it around gradually, and push it back upfield. Kaylee Simmons didn't quite keep that going for us. Kate Poss pushes that one out of bounds. Again, we had a little Little scary moment there. Comes Isabel Green trying to win this ball. Successfully breaks it up. They say defense, all you got to do is destroy things when you're playing defense. You destroy their attack. So I guess just by destroying it, you're successful. If you break up the attack, and she was definitely in a defensive posture right there trying to break up that attack. But they also say that defense is the first line of your attack or the first line of your offense. So Avery Maples trying to get on that. Kate Poss plays wide to Rebecca Duncan, to Kaylee Simmons, and Kaylee couldn't quite get a handle on that, and it went out of bounds. Throw in for Murphy. Wind's died down a little bit here now, and sun's gone down. It's turned into a rather nice evening, which is according to the weather people, we're going to be getting some rain coming up. Whoop, we're onside here. Avery Maple. Should be a throw in for Swain. No? I guess not. Swain had its own version of a counterattack there. For the most part, Swain's been building up their attack and working the ball up. Bree Ross is going to try to. And Kate Poss gets back and just in the nick of time to play that one out of bounds and let us regroup a little bit. Those counterattacks can be kind of scary if team has a couple of players with the speed to get behind you and the skill to make you pay when they do. It's going to be a throw in here for the Bulldogs. Rebecca Duncan steps in front of the attacker there and plays the ball up. Kaylee Simmons is trying to get a foot on it, and she does, but plays it on up, and the ball rolls out of bounds. So often you see in these in soccer games, if you ever play that ball right down the line on the ground, there's a good chance it's going to go out of bounds because the fields have a roll or a hill. They're high in the middle and made so that they'll drain. And unfortunately, when that ball's rolling right down that touch line, it's going to go out of bounds. I guess for football, that's not such a big deal since the ball isn't round and it doesn't go where you're expecting it to go anyway. Switch to the field. Kate Poss switches it back over here to Hines. Hines makes a nifty little move. She's got Richards on the outside. Richards back to Hines. Great combination there. Hines in the 18. And it's just a little bit too much touch, and we're going to have a goal kick for Murphy. That was a nice set of passes there between Hines and Richards coming up that right side, just playing off of the defenders and leading each other, playing into the space that the players were running, that the partners were running into. It was a nice combination. Bree Ross. Kate Poss puts the ball back where it came from. Yep. It's getting a little physical out there. It is Soccer is a physical game, and sometimes more than others. Contact isn't a foul necessarily. There is very often it's not a foul. Here, a little dangerous here. But Poss puts it back. Kaylee Simmons winds up with it to Isabel Green, I believe, there in the middle. Poss gets ahead on the ball and plays it out wide. Oh. Coach Kim Brownlee there got a touch on the ball with her head. Bit unexpected, I believe. Swain with the throw. Jaden Perez. The ball finds Kendall Cochran, who looks like she's moved to the outside midfield position. She's going to switch the field. She's looking all the way over for Richards. Hine with the ball. It's her pocket picked, and the ball's going the other way for Murphy, but Hines recovers and comes back and wins the ball. Coaches like to see that right there. If you lose the ball, go get it back. And for one of the very, very few times in this game so far, Maddie Lay has the ball in her hands. Jaden Perez putting pressure on. Bree Ross. And Murphy with another opportunity here. Nice stop by Maddie Lay. It's a good shot by Murphy there. 22 minutes left in the game, almost halfway through the second half. Swain looking for their first goal, or the equalizing goal. Kendall Cochran. Comes Bree Ross. Plays the ball up. Kendall's playing that outside left outside midfield position. And she's got her some space out there if we could get the ball out to it. Looks like this will be a throw for Murphy. Although I don't think Peyton Hines thought that was the way it was supposed to be. Another throw for Murphy. Maddie Lay picks it up in her own 6-yard box, runs it up to the edge of the 18. And gives it a ride into the center circle. Maples with the ball, passes it out wide to Cochran. Cochran playing it back into the middle. Got a couple of Swain players on it. Keeps coming. It's right there in the soup. Isabel Green looking for something to do with it. Finds Hines. Hines plays Into Jaden Perez. Wasn't quite able to get the touch she wanted on the ball. Up, Isabel Green. Plays a nice ball out wide to Richards. Richards getting a beat on it. Tried to bring that ball back across. Had
Subs are going to make a substitution. Jake Perez will leave the game, and Cozy Wilmot will enter it.
Cozy Wilmot into the game for
In the second half.
Avery Maples throwing the ball in. "19 minutes and 11 seconds left in the game. Hines wins this ball. Keeps possession, plays it up. Richards wanted to get a cross off here. Cochran with a chance. Couldn't quite get a good shot off there. Those one touches are hard to make. Ball bouncing, coming across at you. You throw in for Murphy. Another throw in for Murphy, and I think a substitution coming up here. The referee catches it. Nope. This should be a throw in for Swain. Nope. I guess my being 40 yards away from it might not have too good of an argument saying I could see it better than they could. Throw in again for Murphy. Kate Poss trying to find Cochran out wide. Got to be careful here. Yep, we have an offsides.
That's offside on the Bulldogs. It'll be a free kick for the Devils. Looks like Bree Ross will take it just outside the 6-yard box. Actually, should get to come just outside the 18-yard box.
Bree Ross going to take the indirect free kick after the offsides. Finds Isabel Green. Isabel's looking, trying to find Richards. Does find Richards. Should have a handball there. Yeah, he caught it. All right. Going to be a free kick right here. Looks like Bree Ross might be coming up to take this. We're looking on the backside over there. Got Kaylee Simmons waiting over there. We got Kendall Cochran in the middle. She plays it out to Rebecca Duncan. Kate Poss tries to put it right back where it came from. Ooh. Richards with the ball. Throw in for Swain. Deep in Murphy territory. Cochran got a touch on the ball, but unfortunately that touch took it out of bounds for a goal kick. Down to about 15 minutes remaining in the game. Still 1-0 Murphy. It's been a very physical game, a lot of contact, but the contact's all been nice and clean contact. There's not been any retaliation or any really complaining or anything. It's just been a nice physical, good physical, hard soccer game. Kaylee Simmons playing the ball into the middle, right in the soup there. Cozy tried to get a touch on that. Poss puts it right back up in the soup. Cochran trying to get a touch on it, and the keeper come out and did what the keeper's supposed to do. She got her hands up above everybody else and grabbed the ball. You throw in for Swain. Just barely in their own half of the field. Isabel Green brings it, switches the ball across, finds Hines. Hines just, she grabbed her head. She knew she didn't have the touch that she wanted whenever she touched that ball. Duncan in a collision there and got up, shook it off. Looks like she's ready to keep playing. Whoop, ouch. Bree Ross throws that one in. Hines steps in front and gets a touch. Handball. Didn't see it. Okay. Those are hard to call. That ball just jumped right up and hit the hand. She obviously didn't reach out to go to the ball, but nevertheless it came up and got her. It's going to be a throw in for Murphy right at the half line. Avery Maples trying to come out of with that ball. Nice touch by Bree Ross. She's looking, trying to find where she wants to go. Oh, she was trying to find Jessie Richards over on the right-hand side.
That's a handball.
Kaylee Simmons makes a nice touch toward the goal. Crosses it back in. Oh, from about 8 yards out. Kendall Cochran with I think it was a left-footed shot. She got the shot off, and nice play by the Murphy keeper. It's one of those where she had to either catch it or eat it, I think. It was right there on her, but she made it stick. No chance for a rebound. Kaylee Simmons going to bring it across, and I think we're going to have a corner kick here. 10 minutes and 33 seconds to play in the game. Jaden Perez re-enters the game for Swain. Cochran plays it short to Kate Poss. Ooh. I know I've noticed some of Kate Poss's her kicks out of the back when she takes the goal kicks. They're low line drive kicks, which lends itself to scoring goals if you make those same kind of kicks whenever you're up, turn them into shots when you're up close to the goal. We were kind of hoping for one of those there. She looked like she kind of tried to chip that. Got under it a little bit. Be a throw in for Murphy here. Maddie Lay comes up to the edge of the 18 and grabs it. Distributes it to Rebecca Duncan. Duncan back to Poss, and Poss was trying to get it out to Kaylee Simmons, and Kaylee couldn't quite settle it. Jaden Perez back in, wins the 50-50 ball. Bree Ross throws in. Winds up with the ball again. Those first touches are so important for a soccer player. When the first time you touch the ball, where do you put it? If you have pressure on you from another player from on the other team, you obviously want to make that first touch away from that pressure if you can. Or if you're thinking about making a pass, you would like that first touch to be putting in a position so you can make the pass that you want to make. And if you can make a successful first touch when that ball's coming at you, the first touch you make, it makes your next touch so much easier. Be a free kick for Murphy here. And this one's going to be picked up by Maddie Lay. 7 minutes left in the game. Bree Ross tries to center the ball up. Looking for some kind of fantastic finish here. 6.5 minutes. He's going to put it on the ground. That's a handball.
The handball on the Devils. It'll be a free kick for the Bulldogs.
Kate Potts puts it back where it came from. Isabel Green tries to step up. Here we go. Nice first touch there. Kate put it right where she wanted to go with it. Maples going to get another touch down the side. Got her pocket picked. Jaden Perez headed it back in. Hines. Just having a hard time putting our passes together and keeping possession here now. A little fatigue maybe getting in there, and obviously Swain has the onus on them right now to make something happen. All Murphy has to do is tear things down, tear up our attack. 4 minutes and 51 seconds. Hines plays it out wide to Kaylee Simmons, and she's unable to turn it and bring it back in onto the field. Kaylee Simmons heads that back out. Many of these girls have long ponytails that hang right down on their numbers. And from 40 yards, 50 yards away, several of them look similar to one another, so. Looks like Kate Poss has been moved up a little ways. Looking at maybe putting when it gets to this point, sometimes you'll even see on these kind of games, I've seen teams bring their keeper out whenever it gets down in the last couple of minutes, and where you have to have a goal or it doesn't really mean anything. 3.5 minutes left now. Throw in for Swain. Maples to make the throw. The general area, Kate Poss. Maples with the left foot puts it right back in the middle to Kendall Cochran. Kendall got a little bump there before she could receive the ball. That's a bit of a tactic. It's hard to, as mentioned earlier, about how important your first touch is. Well, if you want to mess up somebody's first touch, just give them a little bump, right, whenever they're about to make that first touch, and it'll generally mess that first touch up. And that happened to Kendall there. Bree Ross. Kaylee finds it. Kaylee trying to put it back in the soup. Kaylee again. Maples. And it'll be a throw in for Swain. Maples will take the throw. 2.5 minutes left. Ball gets across. Kaylee's trying to get on, but they've got stepped in front of. Now Kaylee Simmons is going to wind up on the sideline with the ball. Played out by Murphy. Just over Kendall Cochran's head. Kate Poss got a touch on it. Continues to try to get a touch. Tried to keep that one in bounds, but couldn't quite do it. It's going to be, I think, a throw in for the Lady Bulldogs. 2 minutes left. And, of course, yes. And I'd be the same way. It's easy to complain that they're stalling, but I've been there and I've done it too as a coach. Winding down to 1.5 minutes. Bree Ross putting the ball back up. You're very vulnerable here when you're putting everything forward, putting everything on the attack. You're real vulnerable to the counterattack, but right now it really doesn't matter whether it's 1-0 or 2-0. We need to score a goal here. Winding down on 1 minute left. Isabel Green got the ball right in the middle of the field. Murphy has packed the box. It's always scary when that clock starts ticking down tenths of a second. You know there's not much time left. 47 seconds. Duncan with the throw in. Hines heads the ball back in. We can get a touch. "23 seconds. She kicked it out. 17 seconds. Poss. Cochran with his, oh! Goodness gracious. Kendall Cochran had an opportunity, but just too much defense in front of her. Too many touches had to be made. What an effort. Great effort on both teams. Final score here tonight. Murphy 1, Swain 0. Thank you for being with us. boys. How y'all doing?